Hey everybody, Michael Snyder, Hawaiian Island Weather Watch. Today is August 20th. Thought I'd do a special video here today because we have some interesting developments that could potentially be impacting Hawaii as we go through this upcoming weekend. You can see this is the system of note right here. Some of the models are showing a tropical storm or even a hurricane approaching the Hawaiian Islands. And we're going to take a look at those details here as we go through the video this afternoon. And by the way, there's Tropical Storm Gilma off to the far right of the screen here. Should become a hurricane here over the next couple of days. Now, taking a look, this is for the Central Pacific Ocean here, and right now it's at 80%, but actually the Eastern Pacific says 90%. But again, this is the area of concern. It will be moving off to the west here. It could potentially be impacting Hawaii. We'll check out some of the timing on that and what potential impacts could be approaching the islands. So this is the official word right now. They talk about it moving across the Central Pacific Basin here towards the Hawaiian Islands late this weekend or early next week. And of course, it's too early to determine exact location and magnitude. You're going to need to stay tuned. I'll probably do some more of these videos if this storm continues to look like it's going to impact the islands, and of course monitor this very closely. So taking a look here, 90% chance here over the next 48 hours and the 7-day period. Now, taking a look here, this is the European model. We have the Hawaiian Islands smack dab in the center here, and you can see California off to the far upper right. And then here we go. It's not named yet, but it probably will be here shortly. As you can see, it looks like it's going to start deepening here as we go on in through about what this Thursday morning time frame. And I'm going to stop right there on Friday morning. Again, the Hawaiian Islands are right here. You can see this ridge across the Central Pacific Ocean, the northern Central Pacific Ocean. That would be Hurricane Gilma out over across some of the Eastern Pacific. But if I put that into motion, you can see that approaching the Hawaiian Islands, and that is not a good look, folks. This is the European model hot off the presses. It has trended a little bit north here in the most recent model run. So that would potentially have some big impact to the Hawaiian Islands. You're talking about torrential rainfall, some very strong and damaging winds, and some huge wave activity would accompany this storm. So if I back up a little bit more here, you can actually see what steers these systems. You can see this ridge of high pressure. This steers these hurricanes and these tropical systems there. And you'll see Gilma kind of make a north turn there as that ridge weakens a bit and it gets on the western periphery of it, and it can start to turn north a bit there. And that's something similar happening to whatever this storm is going to be called here as we go on in towards the early to mid portion of next week, let's call it. So taking a look here, there are some things that usually help the Hawaiian Islands avoid some of these tropical systems, and wind shear is one of them. There tends to be more wind shear the further you get west towards the Hawaiian Islands. And if I put this into motion, you'll see the system develop right here, but you can see the wind shear as you get towards the islands. Will it be enough to tear this system apart before it gets there? It looks like it's staying on the northern periphery of the islands or across Kauai and some of Oahu, but then it starts to shear the system as it gets a bit closer here. But it might be too late to save Hawaii from the impacts if this does unfold, because there's going to be a lot of thunderstorm activity, some torrential rainfall, like I mentioned, big waves, and a lot of wind with that system. But that is what can help shear these systems as they move towards the Hawaiian Islands sometimes. So that's one reason why the tropical systems that move south of the islands and then start to look like they might take a north turn can be even more devastating, because it's also warmer water down there. The system stays to the south and then makes a north turn here like Iniki did in 1992. Those can be very powerful hurricanes that can impact the Hawaiian Islands. Thank goodness it's relatively rare. So taking a look at the sea surface temperatures here, this goes over the last 30 days since July 21st. And again, you can kind of see that the water is cooler a little bit further north. So when these approach from the east, you can see that it's dealing with a little bit cooler water. That's not great for hurricane fuel. If they stay south and they move north, that can be really impactful. But still, the ocean it looks like it's warm enough to support a tropical storm or a marginal hurricane here as it moves towards the Hawaiian Islands. This is sea surface temperature anomaly, a little bit of some neutral and some below normal temperatures, but where it's developing right now, we do have some above normal temperatures there across some of the Central Pacific Ocean. So this is actually the simulated infrared satellite imagery, and this is the European hot off the presses. You can see the development as we go on in through this about Saturday morning there, and then you can see the storm approaching the Hawaii here, and you can kind of see the eye of this system right there and kind of showing up there. But you can also see some of the shear working on this system as it does get closer to the Hawaiian Islands. So there's always a hope to try to go ahead and weaken that system as it does approach. But right now it looks pretty close. Also, one of the other main threats from these tropical systems, significant wave height, direction, and feet. And you can see the direction of the waves as well. And you can see this system will definitely be bringing a big swath of waves with it also. And those can cause beach erosion and all kinds of crazy stuff. You know, typically don't get wave action like this, especially in the summer for the Hawaiian Islands. So you got to really pay attention to that as well. Now, taking a look at actual maximum individual wave height. So let me back this up a little bit. You can clearly see this track from east to west towards the Hawaiian Islands. You can see some of these maximum individual wave heights. You want to be fishing out there for the ahi during this time frame, no doubt. And then you can see this move towards the big island here and impacting Maui and some of Oahu and Kauai, even some of the south-facing slopes. And, you know, the waves are pretty big on the north side of this also, so it could be affecting some of the north shores here and the northeast direction as well. And just a reminder here, I did work for Island Air and Hawaiian Airlines there for about 4 years in Hawaii. So I do have some pretty good experience with these systems here. I paid pretty close attention for that time frame, about 2004 to 2008. Now, taking a look here, this is 100-meter wind speed. And again, I'm painting the picture here for the wind incoming. Take a look. You can clearly see the system in the eye of this tropical storm or a marginal hurricane. Very close. The sustained winds at 100 knots are showing up right about 62 knots right there. That's really close to being hurricane status. And this would have huge impacts on the Hawaiian Islands. I mean, the big island would really get hammered. There's all kinds of terrain features. You go from sea level all the way to 14,000 feet here, and you've got all kinds of interesting terrain features. And this could cause huge damage to some of the vegetation out there, as well as for places like Maui, you know, in between the channels on the shorelines here. Just an absolutely rough time here as we go on in through later this week and on in through early next week. And if we take a look here, I've stopped this accumulated max 10-meter wind gust, but you can see some gusts approaching 70 miles per hour here on the southern portion of the big island. Some of the mountains would just be roaring. The Saddle Road would be getting hammered there. Yeah, so this is kind of crazy looking here, folks, but hopefully this kind of weakens or stays a bit south, because this would be quite impactful for the state of Hawaii. Now, on top of that, of course, you have torrential rainfall possibilities, and the GFS is on the right, kept the storm in the 12Z a little bit further south, but you can see still pretty good amounts for the big island, but nothing like what the European is showing. Some of these totals are up over a foot, up over 15, even towards 20 inches, and you can see Haleakala here, and then you can see the big island, just huge amounts of precip, and this could potentially impact places like Oahu and Kauai as well, but still we're a ways out, so this is still technically a fantasy forecast. I just want to keep it in the back of your mind that these systems can be quite devastating to the Hawaiian Islands. And this is looking at actual model guidance here from the GFS ensembles. You can see pretty close path here with the tropical storm or a weak hurricane will have big impacts. This is the European. This was actually last night's run here, and the 12Z trended a little bit further north and I think a little bit stronger with the system here. So that's something we're going to have to watch as well. As I showed, this is the Canadian model. Pretty good model agreement here. And on a cautionary note here as well, some of these systems have been progged to move past these tropical storms in the past, and sometimes they just get out across to the south and east of the Hawaiian Islands, and they can slow down, and these forecasts can change very dramatically. So this could look something pretty sinister to not too big of a deal here, and it could get, you know, maybe wind shear will start to come in stronger on some of these upcoming model runs here, and this will weaken the system, and it'll drift harmlessly as a depression or just a little tropical swirl there to the south of the Hawaiian Islands. So anyway, what else? Here we go with the ATCF guidance. I think this is an IBM-based model here, but you can see pretty good agreement with the system moving towards the Hawaiian Islands as well. So right now it's called INVEST. There's actually two systems out there, and they're going to be merging. One of them is 90E, one of them is 91E. So they'll be coming together here shortly there, and it'll just change to one. So we'll just have to worry about the forecast for the one. And now the ATCF guidance also shows, you know, some of the ensemble members showing Cat 1, even a Cat 2 here on a couple of the ensemble members. Actually, no, these are individual model runs here. These are individual separate models. This is not an ensemble here. So I correct myself there. But you can see the vast majority do have them in tropical storm status, and virtually all of them do have it up into tropical storm status. But again, here it is right here, and it's going to be moving into the central Central Pacific Hurricane Basin here in a couple days here, and we'll just continue to watch it. And if it starts to look like it might impact the Hawaiian Islands, I will continue to do these updates. And if not, that will be a good thing for Hawaii, and it'll drift to some tropical surge of moisture or depression off to the south. But cross your fingers on that. And anyway, it's good to be prepared. It's starting to become that time of the season where you can get tropical systems to impact the Hawaiian Islands. So anyway, hope you guys are liking this video. I'll post this on the Pacific Northwest weather page for now. I know I have a lot of people that fly out to the Hawaiian Islands from here. You know, I work for Alaska Airlines, and we fly from all over the West Coast here. And if you didn't hear on the news, we are now merging with Hawaiian Airlines here. So that is going to be a fun time at work here over the next couple of years as we get everybody merged together and situated. So yeah, we do a lot of work at Alaska Airlines off into the Hawaiian Islands. So this will have big impacts, no doubt, coming up at work as well. So anyway, hope you guys are liking these videos. I'll do my normal briefings tomorrow, and otherwise hope you're having a good day, and I'll talk to you guys later.